What's kicking, y'all? We're back with another episode of Pickin 6. My name is Tyler, aka T Ho. I am joined, as always, by my friend, the locksmith, also known as Connor, and we are joined by a very special guest, a good friend of mine from school, Mr. AG, Adam. How we doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm
Happy
doing.
to be here. First time on this podcast, so this is exciting.
Yeah, dude, we're happy to have you. Adam is coming to us representing his group. We've mentioned them on this very show before. He represents Men of Order. He does a lot for them. He writes blogs. He does podcasts. He picks football games for them. Not as good as us, kidding. But he does a lot for them, and we're happy to have a partnership with
Hey,
them.
all
Connor,
I'm saying is, in terms of college picks, I'm 18-9 against the spread. I don't know what you guys are shooting, but I've been picking
dude,
3 a week, and I'm 18-9 in just those 3 picks. Obviously, I've picked more games for my own personal bets and stuff like that, but I'm shooting 18-9 against the spread. I was like 14-3 at one point. I've had a rough 2-3 weeks, last couple weeks, but I'm looking to get hot again this Friday. You'll see my college picks this Friday, but yeah, you guys went 4-0 last week or something, right? Or
yeah,
2 weeks
the week
ago.
prior, but this past week we got our dicks kicked in. At least I did.
Yeah.
But
It happens.
it
It
is what
happens.
it is. What it is. Connor, how we feeling? How we doing?
Feeling a little under the weather right now, but riding the high from Sunday, went up 20 units on player prop parlays alone or player props alone. So hoping that to carry that into this week for some nice NFL slate. I think which is a bit better than the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Past 2 weeks weren't too hot.
Yeah, Connor and I have been scrounging to provide the people with our NFL picks. It's been like three NFL games to like 6 college games the past 2 weeks. But with all that being said, let's hop right into our NFL games. First one, it was a little bit of a homer game for Adam. We got the Ravens minus 5.5 versus the Vikings. The over under 49.5. Adam, I'll let you take this one first.
Well, I got the Ravens minus 5.5. I am a Ravens fan. That's why he said that it's a bit of a homer's pick. But I mean, the Vikings went out and lost to Cooper Rush the other day. So now listen, Cooper Rush had a great game. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to take anything. I'm not going to take anything away from that guy. But the only real impressive throw he had was the end little fade route to Amari Cooper. The rest was all, guys were getting it done for him. So, I'm not too confident in the Vikings after coming off of that loss. And the Ravens, we're looking to get back on track. We had a bye week, so we're gonna be nice and fresh legs and stuff. And hopefully that turf monster at the practice facility didn't eat us up this week. Because they've been tearing our ACLs all week or all year so far. But I got the Ravens minus 5.5. It's not really a homer pick because I wouldn't have picked them if I didn't like it.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. Connor, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I have a very similar thought process to Adam. I think just harping on what he said, the bye week is going to be huge coming off getting smacked by the Bengals 2 weeks ago. And like the bye week is huge getting the Ravens healthy because Turf Monster have been getting them all year, and like little nicks and other smaller injuries. Hopefully he'll be healed going into hot, refreshed week on Sunday against, I would say, a struggling Vikings team, not been looking too great. And we're seeing kind of like that Jekyll and Hyde, more so. I don't remember which is which, but like the bad version of Kirk Cousins so far the last couple of weeks. Lack of
Not prime time, Kirk.
But yeah, I'm rocking Bengals. No, Ravens minus 5.5 here.
Yeah, for me personally, I like whenever a team like they come off, like I need a game to see that they're back. Like the Ravens got run out of the building by the Bengals. I know they're a good team. I know the Vikings aren't a very good team, but I need at least a game just for me to see that they're back on track before I start throwing money at them again.
Especially after a bye week or after getting smacked and then the bye week. I get what you're saying there. I get the angle there.
I'd rather not bet this game and the Ravens just boat race. I'd be happy not betting this game and the Ravens winning out, whatever, than betting it and then being wrong. You know what I mean? I'd rather just, okay, they're back. I mean, Lamar's my fantasy QB. Adam, how do you think he's going to do this week?
Well, so the Bengals game, I mean, I was working during it, so I didn't get to catch the entire game, but I was looking up at the TV when I got chances to, and I promise you, every time I looked up at the TV, Lamar was not having any time in the pocket, and that's really what hurt us against the Bengals. It seemed like from the parts that I caught. So as long as the line is blocking for him this week, he's gonna have a day. He's been killing it all year. People were saying all summer, oh, I think the league figured out Lamar Jackson. I think the league figured out Lamar Jackson. At this point, I think it's clear to me that they had the wrong quarterback. I think the league figured out Patty Mahomes, and I think Lamar Jackson figured out the league. That's how I look at it. But I think he's gonna have a day against the Vikings. I mean, Cooper Rush. Just put up 300 and however many touchdowns against that defense. If you're telling me Lamar can't put up 500 total yards and 3 touchdowns, you're insane.
Yeah, dude.
I look at it.
That's enough said. I think that Lamar, he's too dynamic of a player. Like, don't get me wrong. Like Pat Mahomes is a generational talent as well. But right now, the league defenses have us. I don't know if they just don't even get me. I couldn't even tell you what's going on with the Chiefs. But all I know is that whenever the you can tell, you can probably explain this better. But the Ravens OC actually has worked with Lamar's game. You know what I mean? He's allowed Lamar to be himself and to work. Be a mobile quarterback in the NFL. And just be that guy.
Well, what else is interesting about that is that the Ravens, when the Ravens knocked off the Chiefs week 2, rumor has it that defensive coordinators are calling the Ravens defensive coordinator every week. Like, hey, what's the recipe? How do we stop Patty? And look, I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that rumor. And if it is true, it seems like he's giving the recipe out for free. I mean, we don't want to see them again in the playoffs.
The Patty secret formula.
If I was the Ravens, I'd be hitting up the other teams. I don't want to see them again in the playoffs. I'm good on that.
Dude,
get them out of here.
I think they were definitely hitting up defensive coordinator to find that recipe. But also last season, Patrick Mahomes had like the most dropped interceptions in the league, something like 19 or like an obscene number, including like plays where he got a free play, like an offsides or something on the defense, and then just threw one, and then it just bumbled out of the defensive back's hands. So I think that speaks to it because he's had a lot of interceptions this year. I think totaling 10 on the season so far.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, after last night, I think 10.
Dude, last night killed me. Travis Kelce, I literally needed 5 points. He got it. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen.
Oh, bro, I needed that too because I needed you to win that so I can stay even with Mike. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out Travis Kelce with his 4 points.
Shout out Travis Kelce. I didn't think it'd be that hard for him to get 5 points.
He got 4.4, but that was enough.
Yeah, apparently it was that hard. So next game, I still like it. Chargers -2.5 against the Eagles. Over under 50.5. Connor, what are your thoughts? I'm very curious because you were on it, then you weren't feeling it. I'm curious.
I guess I'll go back on it. Chargers -2.5. I mean, I'm like looking at ESPN right now, like the matchup indicator, although very close, has the Eagles slightly favored to win by 0.8 of a point. So that's kind of funky, even though the spread is in the Chargers' favor. I think that was one of the reasons why I hit you up. I was like, yeah, I'm off this game. But I don't know. The Chargers need to bounce back. They were looking like one of the hotter teams in the league the first several weeks and kind of teetered off. But the Eagles defense is not good at all this season.
No.
They're not terrible against the rush, not like top 10 in the league by any stretch of the imagination. But they do give up a decent amount of passing yards per game, 236, nothing crazy. But also it'll be interesting to see how they fare against the Chargers and their very big wide receiver core and tight end core as well. And then Austin Eckler going to do damage as he always does on a week-to-week basis so far this season. So I'm rocking Chargers here. I think this one could be a high-scoring game. Over at 50, I think is kind of like not terrible. The Chargers defense is not as good as it was made out to be in the first week or two of the season. But I'm just going to stick with -2.5 Chargers.
Yeah, AG, are you having anything on this game?
I'm taking the Chargers -2.5. I just think they're the better team. I think 2.5 is a really they're they're giving us I don't know. It's weird because it feels like they're giving me a easy one, and I never like when I feel that way.
No,
That
that's like
means they know something I don't know. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
Vegas.
So I don't know. I might stay away from it or like see how the line moves later in the week. But yeah, as of right now, I would go Chargers -2.5. I think that's a gimme. I think they're gonna win by at least 10 against the Eagles.
Yeah, dude. I think for like Vegas, I think they like to capitalize on the overreaction. Like from like the Eagles just put up 44 points, but it's on the Lions. It's on the Lions. Are the Chargers are coming? No, the Chargers are coming off a solid win. Um, no, excuse me. They
No
were
loss.
lost. Excuse me. Um, but I think that line just is like the Eagles lost or they did not play, did not look so good against the Lions. I don't know what that line would look like. Um, I'm also feeling Chargers -2.5. The Philly defense, the Philly offense is young. The Philly defense is old and hurt.
And
So
also, like Chargers last week, they took a 3-point loss to Patriots defense, which is pretty fucking solid on the year, and they've been limiting
yeah,
a lot of teams to terrible offensive games. So putting up 24 points in a loss isn't terrible. I think they'll definitely be like the offense will be ready to get the juices going and put up a lot of points this week.
yeah, dude. I mean, the Chargers on the season 4-3 against the spread, 2-1 away, 2-2 as a favorite. Eagles at home, 1-2, 1-2 against the spread. They're 3-4 as a dog. I think this definitely favors the Chargers a little bit. I just don't think that the Eagles defense is going to be able to hold up. You know, I don't know if I doubt. I don't think Brandon Graham's back. He will be back this season. You know, and that's a big piece of their defense. I know Fletcher Cox is always an iffy to play. So I think we can make that a unanimous Pickin winners pick. Chargers -2.5. Next we got Chiefs -1 against the Packers. I still can't believe they're favored. Over under 55.5. Connor, take it away.
I mean, this obviously a pick'em game here. I think this game will be subject to quite a bit of line movement as we get closer to Sunday because Chiefs opening at a 1-point favorite, kind of very shocking. And you mentioned last week, Tyler, that Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams has a very high winning percentage. So I think Green Bay Packers at +1, I think they'll end up as the favorite as we get much closer to Sunday or maybe even just Sunday morning. But there are definitely going to be a lot of large wagers on the Packers. They're riding a 6-game win streak after what appears to be a fluke loss to the Saints in week 1. Their defense is pretty good, like pretty solid, giving up a little bit under 21 points per game. Being the Packers defense, that being don't give up many yards against the rush. And I mean, we mentioned the Chiefs have been struggling. Mahomes has 10 interceptions on the season. He doesn't look particularly good. They had like a very interesting, like what's his name? Darren Williams on their running back, the Chiefs.
Yeah, Daryl
Really
Williams
didn't get many
Daryl
touches
Williams,
last night. They had Derek Bond, I believe is his name,
Yeah, they're
carrying most of the workload, which speaks to like they're really just trying to throw pieces like darts at the board and see what works on offense. Like they're like not very confident in what they've been doing in the past. So I think I'm rocking Packers here. About to hammer them.
Yeah, AG, how you feeling?
If I was to pick, I would definitely go Packers. I would agree with Connor on that. Hammer the Packers straight up. But I'm gonna stay away from this one in terms of my pick right now, at least. This is another one where I think the line might move a little bit too. But I'm gonna stay away, man, because it's the Chiefs, man. I don't as bad as the Chiefs are playing, it's hard to bet against them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least how I see it. It's just hard for me to like put my money against them. Like I wanted to put my money on the Giants last night and they almost had a chance, but like I didn't do it anyway. I was like, Chiefs are gonna get it done, man. But the Packers they've been playing really well. So if I was picking it, I would pick the Packers for sure.
They say the Chiefs is the Chiefs. You can't, even though they're not looking so good, they have the talent on offense to just put it together if they feel like it.
Yeah, they could just fuck around and win 45-10 next week. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that it could just happen. It could just click. It's the Chiefs. But yeah, if I had to pick as of right now, I would say the Packers straight up.
Yeah, I might wait on this one too. I am feeling Packers as well. I know that Devontae Adams is a maybe for this week's game. I know like Robert Tonyan, one of the tight ends, is out. But the Packers could, it's like what I'm looking at least on the news, is that like they could go from 0 wide receivers ready to go to all of them being ready to go within this week. So it's a matter of time. So
even with all those receivers out last week, they beat the Cardinals, undefeated Cardinals.
Exactly.
I mean, granted, they only won because AJ Green decided to retire in the middle of the play at the last play of the game, but you know, he just didn't turn around for the ball for whatever reason. But they still won the game. So I mean, you know, that says something. So if they have everybody healthy, you know, the Chiefs are in trouble.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna wait, but I'm definitely heavily favoring the Packers. Next we got Cards -2.5 versus the 49ers, over under 46.5. Cards coming off their loss. 49ers coming off they beat the Bears, I believe, this past week in a pretty convincing fashion. AG, I'm gonna go to you first.
I got the Cardinals 2.5. This is a really low spread. I would expect this to be a lot higher. It's a divisional game, so those are always interesting. But Kyler Murray's been on fire. They've been playing well. I mean, the Packers game last Thursday came down to the last play, like I just said. But I think this is almost a no-brainer. I think the Cardinals are going to come in and dominate.
You don't think Vegas is baiting us here? Adam and I have always had this thing where Vegas this the two of us. They like to mess with just the two of us, nobody else.
Yeah. No, I mentioned it earlier in the show about how I forget. Oh, it was the Chargers line when it was 2.5, same line. So, you know, if I'm going to be consistent with my own theories, then yes, they're definitely baiting me right now. Yeah. But I still got the Cardinals winning no matter what, even if that spread does increase. So if it goes up to like -6.5, I'll probably still take them.
If that says you got a touchdown, I'm taking it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I might take it up to 10. I might take it up to a touchdown field goal game. I might, because Cardinal. I mean, man, they're a good football team, bro.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
We'll see.
So even if the line is 14 points,
no, just a touchdown and field goal. That's all I'm giving them. Over 10, I'm good. 10.5, I'm all right. 10, I might push it, but 10.5, no, I'm good. You can have that.
Connor, what are you thinking?
But I'm still not taking the Niners, even if it goes up. Never. I'm not taking the Niners. That's
all of my life. They're 2-5 against the spread.
Yeah, fuck that.
2-5 against the spread. Also, they've had, I think, other than outside of week 1 against the Lions, they've had 3 games over 20 points. One of those being against the Packers in a loss. They put up 21 against the Seahawks, who do not have a good defense, and the Bears, who that ended up just being a shootout. But I'm not putting particularly any stock in that. The Cardinals are just too loaded, even with J.J. Watt out for this week as a projection and possibly for the future. I really don't think that matters. Their defense is still lethal, giving up 17 points per game. And Kyler Murray's on fire, ready to bounce back from a really close loss on Thursday Night Football this past week. And he's going to have that offense rolling. They have way too many weapons, and they're going to probably put up close to 30 points.
Yeah, dude. What does this mean? What is that? It's like the saying goes, so D-Hop's down there somewhere. I'll get it to him. Yeah. Cards are 6-2 against the spread, 4-0 away, 3-2 is the favorite. Niners 2-5, 0-3 at home, 0-1 as a dog. I feel like that right there. I'm a big trends guy. You know, if I like it, if I like it by looking at it, then I check the trends, and if that lines up with how I'm feeling it, you know, it's got to be right.
Send it.
Yeah, you know, so I think that's another unanimous. We're listen, as Connor and I've done the show, it seems like he and I tend to agree. So I know that like Keith and Tom, they give a little bit more on their show, a little bit more, you know, argument.
Friction.
Listen, when it's right, it's right. It's that's bottom line. So
Cardinals not 2.5. That's a lock, man.
Oh, okay. Here.
That's a lock. 2.5. It's not going to stay 2.5, I don't think.
You heard it.
2.5 right now. That's a lock, man.
We'll see where that line moves, but I'm on Cards all day.
You can clip that if you want.
Clip that. You know what? You know what? That'll be on our Twitter this week. You'll hear it.
It's a lock.
That'll be on Twitter this week. Next we got Rams. The red hot Rams -7.5 versus the Titans. Over under 54. Connor, buddy, we rode the Titans till the wheels fell off. And they've officially fallen off. They covered
the wheels, the actual wheels of the Titans fell off. Literally.
we were hot on the Titans when they were on that streak. They still covered last week, thankfully, depending on when you took them. No, they won. Just kidding. But the Rams are now -7.5. Titans without Derrick Henry. Derrick
Henry was his legs were the wheels.
The wheels of the Titans offense. The Titans offense was the closest thing to a college offense in the NFL, in my opinion. Like, think about it. What other team has a power back still in the NFL like Derrick Henry? You know what I mean?
That's a Georgia fan take right there.
Shut up.
Just because they play like Georgia doesn't mean they played like college.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Let me walk that one back. Listen, I just think
I get what you're saying though. That's SEC style football right there, where they got a couple big receivers that they can throw it up to, but other than that, they're ground and pound. I get what you're saying.
They'll run it right down in your face. They don't. But I love Derrick Henry. But yeah, so that line is currently 7.5. Rams are getting 7.5. Excuse me, they're favored 7.5 points over under 54. AG, how you feeling?
I'm gonna go Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams -7.5, but I'm not gonna go ahead and say that that's a lock. I'm not gonna say clipped it. I'm not as confident, but I am confident in it. I'm not sure if Von Miller is able to play this weekend. Do we know?
Is it a week? Do you have to wait? Is there like a waiting?
I think you just got to clear what do you call it? The physical, and then I think you're good to go. But I mean, they probably won't put him in too many packages, even if he is good to go, just because he's got to learn the system probably. But I mean, the Titans lost Derrick Henry. That's where half of their offense came from. The reason that the passing game opens up for Ryan Tannehill, and the game's been so easy for Ryan Tannehill since he got to Tennessee, is because Derrick Henry. You got to stack the box and stuff. The guy, the what's the backup? Nichols, I think.
Is it big?
And then they just signed Adrian Peterson, but those guys aren't Derrick Henry, where they're gonna need to, where the defense is gonna need to stack the box. The Rams defense is very good. Jalen Ramsey's gonna be able to just camp out. So I got the Rams 7.5.
Yeah, dude, Connor, what do you think? Are you with them?
Yeah, with them as well. I mean, I'm just looking at to answer your Von Miller question. He's listed as questionable currently on the injury report, so we'll see how that goes.
Good sign.
I'd imagine like he'll clear the physical. It's just a matter of when, and if there's enough time before Sunday for him to get cleared. But I think they're going to run away with this. The Rams are pretty strong at home this season. Not sure their record against the spread, but I don't like the Titans without Derrick Henry. No. Even with him, he's been struggling the last couple of weeks. They've been able to get it done, but without him as a whole, their offense is going to look bad.
Yeah, dude. If they with the Titans without being able to lean on the run game, the Rams pass rush is lethal, bro. Like you couldn't pay me enough money to stand in the pocket with Aaron Donald and Von Miller coming down the lane. Are you? That's a joke, bro. And it's unfortunate too, because Julio Jones is such a dynamic receiver, and he just hasn't. Injuries have plagued him. He's in, he's out. He's not getting the ball much. AJ Brown is always a question mark. Great receiver, but it's just a matter of how they use him. You know what I mean? But look, he's gonna have to go to his receivers more. I'm also with the Rams, and every week sprinkle Cooper Kupp touchdown. It has been so I forget what the stat was, the profitability of Cooper Kupp's touchdown prop, but it's off the chain, man. Sprinkle that. Rams 4-4 against the spread. They're I wouldn't call them like the Chiefs. The Chiefs hate covering. They're allergic to covering. Rams 4-4 against the spread, 2-2 at home, 3-4 is the favorite. However, I would be more weary of that if the Titans had Derrick Henry. So give us all another unanimous decision. Rams -7.5. Lock that in. So now we are moving.
It's a lock for you?
Oh no, I mean just like that's me. No, like you give me that like buzzer. You know what I mean? Like,
I got you. I got you.
that's my answer.
Final answer.
Hey, it's $1 million question to win the pyramid. No, I'm kidding. Um, so now we are moving on to college. Our boy AG, he and his friends over on at Men of Order, they do a show, I Got Next, and they give out their college picks. Are you winning that contest with your?
Yeah. I'm ahead big time at the moment. Not to toot my own horn, but I mean, like I said, I had a couple bad weeks in a row. So I mean, people are catching up, but I'm still up by like maybe 7 or 8 games. So yeah, we do that over at Men of Order. You could subscribe to the YouTube Men of Order, menoforder.com. We have we post blogs. We have people that write about, tech, finance, business, mental health, physical health, politics, culture, sports. And then we have our sports show, like Tyler mentioned, in which we do our college picks on Fridays. So I'm not going to release any college picks right now. If you want to see my college picks, I'm 18-9 against the spread. I'll have 3 more picks on Friday with my partners. But I am going to talk some college football with the fellas right now and assess their picks.
Listen, yeah, Connor and I have been up and down. We were riding hot on college. And as I've said before, I feel like college football, among any sport, is probably the hardest, sport to pick, with a consistently. So that's pretty awesome that you are. Sounds like you're running away with your contest on your guys' channel. But with that being said, first college game on the slate. This is SEC, my favorite. Kentucky -1.5 versus Tennessee over under 57. Connor, take it away.
This is a very interesting game because Kentucky is ranked 23rd in FBS as far as rushing yards allowed per game. But this gets interesting because they're other than the Georgia game, they've been pretty good against the rush, as the stats kind of point to. But Tennessee has one of the fastest paced offenses in the country in terms of time possession and amount of plays they get off, stuff like that. But they run a lot of running plays as part of their offense. So I think this makes it a much more difficult game to pick. Now, Tennessee is 3-5 against the spread, whereas Kentucky is 6-2 against the spread and 6-2 overall. My concern here, like Tennessee puts up over 37 points per game. They allow 27. I kind of worry but their offense has kind of teetered off the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to lean Kentucky here in the battle of what are now basketball schools, but also still pretty good football schools, as Tennessee, just a little fun fact, has the #1 recruiting class, I think, going into next college basketball season.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that the other day. But I like Kentucky here. I think -1, not much to cover. They're at home, and their fan base is wild for a football team that has not been good until like the last 2 years or something like that.
The SEC, dude.
It's the SEC. Yeah, I think they're going to stop the run if they hold down the run. Even though Hendon Hooker's proven to be a pretty good quarterback, as he started, I think week 3 or 4 this year for the Volunteers. But with the running game limited, I think all points go to Kentucky.
AG, what is your? Well, how about this? I'll say what I have to say, and then you can jump.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I've said it before. I hate Tennessee. I hate orange. I hate the color orange so much. I cannot stand Tennessee.
I started off the show calling me a homer. Now he's about to pick Kentucky because he doesn't like Tennessee. Look at him. Look at him.
The first week of this show, I let out the world's biggest disclaimer. I'm a UGA fan through and through. So anything I have to say about the SEC, take with the biggest grain of salt. I said it.
Financial disclaimer.
Yeah, my disclaimer is out there. The terms and conditions, it's been said. You know what I mean? And for me, this game, Tennessee 3-5 against the spread, 1-4 as a dog, 1-2 away. Kentucky is a basketball school. They have been increasingly better and better with Coach Stoops. I believe is still the head coach there. He's a good coach, always has been. I don't know, man. Tennessee's offense has looked better. but Tennessee is a team that I don't even know if they know whether they want to be a good or a bad team, because they have the potential to be both. Like they can look really good, and then the next series can look like they have no idea what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like this whole season has been a big question mark. Like they always have potential. Like they recruit well, and they just or not Coach Pruitt anymore. I can't think of who the head coach is now. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay off this one, honestly. If
Yeah,
I were to lean anywhere, it'd be Kentucky, 4-1 at home against the spread. You know what? Honestly,
just send it.
give me Kentucky.
Send it.
Give me Kentucky. I hate it so much. I hate it. I hate Tennessee. I don't hate Kentucky. They're like there's like a lot of mutual respect between us and them. I mean, Georgia's already won the SEC East.
I feel like
going to Atlanta. That's already been decided. Like,
yeah, I feel like you don't care. You don't have as much hatred towards Kentucky because they just got good at football recently. Like you haven't had to battle it out with them.
Basketball. I don't care.
It used to be like fucking. You're used to 53-7 against Kentucky every week. Like why do you care about Kentucky if you're beating them 53-7? Fuck them.
honestly, though, bro, like in the past years, Kentucky's always been like that gamer. Are they going to beat us?
Oh, really?
Are they not going to show up, and we're going to lose to them?
Yeah.
I'm in South Carolina every year, bro. I'm like, are we going to make it? Like,
yeah. But recently, Kentucky's been stepping it up. So
no, absolutely, Coach Stoops. I'm telling you, man. Like they're recruiting better. They're looking better. I love their uniforms, bro. I think those uniforms are dope. Like, but yeah, give me on a full send. I'm feeling frisky on this Tuesday morning that we're recording. So give me Kentucky -1.5. I don't love it, but sometimes you just got to do it. AG, how are you feeling overall? Like, just what are your thoughts?
Up until last week in the contest with Men of Order for our shows, I was 3-0 picking Kentucky games. Up until last week. Last week I picked they had a plus 0.5 spreads, basically just had to win the game against Mississippi State, and they did not. And so now I'm 3-1 picking them, still solid, but they let me down last week. So just simply because they let me down this week, if I were to pick this game, I'm going Volunteers, baby. And mostly because you dislike Tennessee so much, I'm going to go Volunteers, baby. I'm not going to pick this game for my picks though. So I can pick it here because I'm definitely not. I'm going to stay away from that because I'm not sure how this game's going to go.
Yeah, listen.
Kentucky played. They were hot for a little bit and then they just were flat against Mississippi State. So I don't know how they're going to come out this week.
Listen, I'll be happy to be wrong. I just can't pick Tennessee. I was considering it too. Like their offense. It's just a matter of like Tennessee's inconsistency where like Kentucky was hot then fell off. It's a lot. I feel like it's a lot easier to get it back like after only being, cold for a game than just being all over the map.
I got you. Yeah.
That's why I'm feeling like leaning Kentucky in that game. But like if Tennessee played the way they can play the whole year, I would have been Tennessee all the way. I'll be honest with you. It's a game I liked. Oklahoma State -3 against West Virginia. Over under 49.5. I was going to say what how I'm thinking. Oklahoma State 6-2 against the spread, 3-0 away, 3-2 as a favorite. West Virginia also has a strong record against the spread. I feel like West Virginia is coming in a little overvalued, maybe because they had that clutch win against Iowa State last week. I think that if they don't win that game, this spread does not look as tight as it is. I think that Oklahoma State overall is a more dynamic team. West Virginia is not the team they used to be. I remember the days of Geno Smith scoring 70 points a game.
Pat White days.
Yeah, dude. I remember. I know. All of us used to watch Tavon Austin highlights.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh
yeah. West Virginia used to be where it's at. Right now, Cowboys 7-1 overall. West Virginia 4-4. I'm feeling
like a basketball school now.
West Virginia?
Yeah.
You press Virginia?
Yeah, press Virginia, baby.
Yeah, give me.
Connor were big on them last college basketball season.
Oh, Connor was hot on West Virginia basketball last year.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Ended up not working out well, but hey, shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. So keep posted. Connor's gonna got some stuff in the works for the basketball season now that it is finally November. Connor, do you have anything for this game?
This it's tough. I mean, West Virginia, they've had some like big win last week. They got smoked by Baylor by 25, close against Texas Tech, kept a loss by 3 to Oklahoma earlier this season, and beat a Virginia Tech team that was ranked 15th at the time of that game. So like they have some decent games on their in the win-loss column, whether it be a win or a tight loss. So they played some like very solid games. I think this one probably will like it'll come down to the wire, I think.
I
Even though
think
it's
so
at
too.
home in the mountains of West Virginia, I'm leaning Oklahoma State here. I think West Virginia got their like probably their biggest win of the season, 7-point win against Iowa State, as Tyler mentioned earlier. I like Oklahoma State. The defense is a lot better. They allow under 100 rushing yards per game, and West Virginia gives up a decent amount of passing yards at 240 a game. So I think Oklahoma State is going to run away with this one.
Yeah, let it be known out there. If Connor likes a team's defense, that's a good indicator of of how the team is. AG, what do you think? Any thoughts at all?
All right. So it's funny that so far we've had Kentucky and West Virginia. So I started off the season with my 3 picks. I was picking West Virginia pretty much the past like the first like 4 weeks. I picked the West Virginia game, or at least like 2 of the first 5 weeks or something like that. And the first couple times I picked them, they hit for me. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep riding this, whether it was picking against them or for them. You know what I mean? I wasn't saying I was taking them every time, but whatever West Virginia game I was picking, it was working out in my favor at first. Then I went on like 3 straight weeks where I picked the West Virginia game because I was riding them, and shit in the bed for me. If I picked them, they were losing. If I picked against them, they would win or keep it close. So they were covering when I didn't need to and not covering when I needed them to. So I told myself I'm staying the fuck away from West Virginia from now on. So I'm not gonna pick this either way.
Dude, I've run into teams
Yeah.
like last year was the Arizona Cardinals for me. Anytime I bet against them,
Yeah.
yeah, dude,
And I'm
I hear
staying
that.
away from the Mountaineers. So,
Yeah,
but I hope they win. I like them. I would like them to get back on track because I mean they were a good football team in the beginning, but they played a bunch of good talent teams. You know what I mean? So their record looks shitty, but like Connor said, like they've been playing some close, good games and stuff like that, whether it's a win or a loss. So, they're a solid football team. Oklahoma State's also a very solid football team. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to pick that either way though.
yeah. I'm just feeling Oklahoma
Just stay
State.
away.
They just look good, man. 6-2 against the spread is very, very nice. And
Yeah.
if the spread was a little bit bigger, I'd probably be weary. But I feel like 3 points as it stands right now on Tuesday, November the 2nd. I like it.
Sounds
Next
good.
game, Connor. Houston minus 13.5 against USF over under 53.5. We were in the business of tailing SMU, and the Pony Express became the Polar Express. I mean, they were cold. They picked it up too late, lost to Houston, and by a lot. How are we feeling with this game? Are we now just tailing Houston, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna be riding with the Cougars here. Their defense is still very solid, as you all know, big defense guy in college football. But I mean, they give up less than 20 points per game, less than 100 rushing yards per game, and their offense is pretty solid, averaging a little over 37 points per game. USF does not have a good defense. They give up 30 points per game. So I think that's a good indicator. Houston will be able to put up points and probably cover the spread pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't know. I might stay off this one just for the simple fact is like, here's what happens is like I tail a team, right? So I tail SMU. Like like in the past, I've had a tendency to, I'm definitely gonna be on the other team next week in their game, and that ends up blowing up in my face. You know what I mean? It's like Houston won last week. Oh, they're obviously going to look just as good this week. And so that usually, for me, doesn't work out. Maybe it's my mojo. I don't know. But I'm gonna stay off that one personally. Adam, what do you think?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I have not gotten to really watch any Houston games. So I really have no idea on this. I haven't been able to watch any of the games, and I don't like making blind random picks. But what was the spread? 13 and a half?
13 and a half.
And what's their records?
Houston is ranked 20th in the country right now.
7-1. South Florida's 2-6.
Yes, Houston is 5-2 against the spread, 3-0 away.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Favorite. USF 4-4 against the spread, 3-1 at home, 3-3 as a dog. That's a tie.
Yeah, let's go Houston. I'm gonna rock Houston 13 and a half.
Oh, okay.
13 and a half Houston.
I'm gonna stay off it. I can't. I don't know.
I'm going Houston because look, 7-1. They're coming in. They don't want to lose that game. They don't want to lose that top 20 ranking. When it's schools like when it's Power 5 schools, they get ranked all the time. They'll start the season ranked even though they suck. Like, you know what I mean? They're used to it. But schools like Houston, you got to win games to really get ranked and stay ranked. So they're at 7-1 and they're only 20th in the country. They don't want to lose that. They want to keep moving up. They're going to come in firing. You know what I mean? They're not taking it easy because they're 7-1 because they want to stay up there in the charts. That's how I look at it. I think they're going to come in hot.
Also, coming off the news that they're going to be entering the Power 5 conference in a few years, they're trying to really prove that that's where they belong.
Right.
And like as of right now, their program's been playing really well the last couple of years. This season, obviously, very solid as the record and rankings indicate. So I think they're going to keep the train rolling. It's not really like what Tyler said, where they beat the team I picked last week, so I'm going to ride with them. I just think South Florida is going to be overmatched. I don't think they stand a chance.
I think Houston wins. I don't doubt that for a second. It just, the spread worries me slightly. I'll take a look at it.
A little high, but
yeah, I'll take a look at it later in the week and maybe reassess. But as of right now, I'm gonna stay off. But things can change. Next one, Iowa. Poor Iowa. minus 11 and a half versus Northwestern over under 40.5. Connor, I have a feeling what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
Under. Big Ten under?
Yeah, I'm going with under here. I can't remember the stat you said a couple weeks back about Big Ten unders, but Iowa's defense is nasty this year. They're like tops across the country in pretty much any defensive metric, especially against the run. Give up an average of 16 points per game on the season. That's pretty indicative. Their offense kind of blows. Northwestern's offense isn't good either. They give up a decent amount of points, but I don't think they're going to be able to put up enough points against this loaded Iowa offense to cover 40 points. Mathematically speaking, I just don't think that combination is possible. And I mean, that's really the only play I see here. I don't think Iowa's offense can cover 12 points. Northwestern also might not be able to cover 12 points. I don't see like a clear indicator on going that way, but I like the under. It's a low scoring game, be even more low scoring than the total indicates.
Yeah, dude.
What's the over under?
40 and a half. Dude, Big Ten unders are, even when they're low, dude, Big Ten unders are profitable. I wish I had a statistic for you. All I know is that a lot of these, like for example, Iowa is 6-2 for the under in their games this year. Northwestern's 4-4 split. Teams like Purdue are like 7-1 for the under. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Big Ten is a story of defense and little offense. You know what I mean? 21-7 games type stuff. So I'm definitely gonna rock with the under there. I like that a lot.
I like the under too. I might pick this game for on Friday. I might pick the spread one of the ways. I'm not going to reveal which way I'm leaning, but I will take the under as well. Last week at halftime, Iowa had 5 total offensive yards. Northwestern's offense is not doing too well either, like Connor mentioned already. I think under 40.5 is a pretty solid play here.
Yeah, dude. Before we get into our last game, like I just one we haven't written down, but AG, how you think about Rutgers against Wisconsin this weekend?
What's the spread? I didn't look.
Wisconsin,
I'm in Jersey, so I don't even get to see it on Fan. It doesn't even come up on my FanDuel slate. I
yeah,
can't bet on it.
you're good. Wisconsin is minus 12.5 against Rutgers. The
Rutgers
over
is
under
covering that.
38.5.
Rutgers is covering that.
Yeah.
12.5. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Let's go Rutgers. My boy Greg Schiano. He knows what he's doing out there. Hold on. Hold on, man.
Friend of Adams.
Hold on, man. We're going with Rutgers, baby. We're going with Rutgers, baby. You see the room is red. You see the room is red. That's for a reason.
I love it.
Rutgers, baby. We out here.
Dude, I love
It's way
that.
better than that Georgia red. I'll tell you that.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen. If Rutgers made their way into Athens, I don't know if they would come out alive. I'll say that.
Look, a couple years ago, I would say you're 100% right. But my boy Greg is back.
Yeah.
Give us 2 years. Give us 2 years.
Yeah.
We ain't shit right now. But give us 2 years.
We
went 5 years without. We went like 4 years without a Big Ten win. Greg Schiano's first game back, Big Ten win.
Yeah, I don't talk a lot of
it's coming. It's coming.
No, you're
Give
good.
me 2 years. Give me 2 years, bro. We're gonna be at the top
You're good. Listen.
of
You're
the
good.
Big Ten.
Yeah, I said last week. I don't bet Georgia games. Like I don't bet them to win. I'll take the total. I took the under last week. It hit surprisingly to nobody. Georgia, yeah. I don't know. Georgia.
Rutgers plus 12.5. Lock that in. That's
okay.
a lock.
I might look that way.
It's a lock.
The last one on our list. I think this might be one of the better games of the week, if not the, Texas A&M minus 4.5 against Auburn. Over under 50 yeah, I know. Over under 50.5. Texas A&M. I called them frauds at the beginning of the year. They told me to, what I mean, they just told me to, Anyway, yeah, Texas A&M minus 4.5. Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm liking the quality of Texas A&M's win or like recent wins. I mean, they beat Alabama by 3 a couple weeks back on October the 9th, smoked South Carolina, smoked Missouri. So they're gonna get tested more than they have in the last 2 weeks. But I'm still liking them to win here. They're at home in College Station, so I think that speaks volumes as to where the energy is going to be at. Auburn's Tyler, do you have Auburn's record against the spread on the road?
They're 2-1 away.
2-1 away.
Texas A&M's 4-1 at home.
Yeah, and I'm gonna guess that their 2 wins against the spread were probably LSU a few weeks back. And
they covered at LSU +3 because they just beat them straight up
against Arkansas.
They beat Arkansas straight up.
Yeah, I mean, like, those aren't great wins against the spread, in my opinion. I think Texas A&M is going to win. Not sure the spread either way, but I'm just going to rock with their money line. Not the greatest, juiciest odds, but I'm more confident in their money line at this time.
What is it? Minus 200 money line ain't bad for a parlay if you're feeling that. I think Texas A&M covers here. Like I said, that's kind of, I don't know if that's bold to say, but they look good right now. They are now looking like they were predicted to be. People they were claiming they were. They're finally looking that way. Auburn is a mystery. Bo Nix is a great quarterback. I've always said that. I like Texas A&M at home. Any SEC team at home is an automatic advantage. The 12th man at Texas A&M is a real thing. They make a massive difference in the tide of their games. Then you helped them beat Alabama. So I don't think it's going to be, as nearly difficult to beat Auburn by 4.5 points. So give me Texas A&M minus 4.5.
And guys are both riding with the Aggies, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna fade Pickin winners and pick the real winner. I'm gonna go Auburn. So I'm gonna go Auburn straight up money line. So I guess that means I'm also calling Auburn plus 4.5. I'm gonna go Auburn money line on that. I got Auburn. I'm gonna fade the Pickin winners and see who picks the real winners here.
Yeah, remember when Auburn lost to Penn State? I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do. I was there.
I do. Oh yeah, you were there.
I was at Pickle.
Yeah. Oh, you're at Pickles. Oh my Lord, that's the time right
Well,
there.
my body was at Pickle.
Yeah, dude,
I
Pickles,
don't know where I was, but my
Pick-
body was at Pickle for sure. That's
Pickles,
confirmed.
yeah, Pickles at Penn State University.
Game day
$3
was there
Long
that
Island,
week. It was pretty electric.
dude. $3 Long Island iced teas, bro. They'll get you going.
That's why only my body was in attendance because of them $3 LITs and
Yeah, bro.
$4 margaritas. I was
It's a good time. I've had
Good
plenty
night.
of time with Pickles. Got plenty of friends who go to state.
yeah.
Adam, I mean, that's our last game on our slate. Adam, do you have anything for the people before we wrap up here?
No, I mean, thanks for tuning in. I was happy to be here. I'm sure I'll be on some of these shows again going forward. This is my first appearance on Picking Winners. But we've all done this before together, so it was nothing new. Just a new YouTube. But yeah, shout out to Men of Order as well, menoforder.com. Go subscribe at Men of Order on our YouTube. If you go on menoforder.com, you'll find our YouTube from there. We touch on, all the important topics of life, trying to teach men how to be men and, really, teach a lot and help people grow however they want to, and just, provide the educational resources, the educational side and, information side so that people can make their own decisions and kind of figure out their way through this life. But that's what Men of Order kind of is all about. And yeah, so and shout out to you guys, Picking Winners. If you're not subscribed here, subscribe here as well. These guys are locks. They don't call them the locksmith for no reason. And yeah, so shout out Picking Winners.
Well, that was lovely. Absolutely. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe here at Picking Winners. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Do the same to Men of Order on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. The Twitter is at Men of Order blog.
There
so
you go.
You just add the blog to the end for the Twitter, and that's us on Twitter. You'll find the YouTube and the blog through there as well if you want to look through there.
Yeah, they go. Yeah, Adam and his guys, like, they go live on Twitter a lot for their shows. So definitely keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, we're not dropping this yet. I was gonna say we might actually have something tonight, but we're not dropping this anyway. So,
but let the people wait.
Yeah, and then Friday is when we do our pick show. So we pick 3 games. All of us pick 3 games against the spread, and we do the same thing that we do here, kind of kick the shit and just talk about why we picked our games and the analysis and stuff. And I'm sure these 2 gentlemen that you're looking at right now will be on that show eventually at some point too, whenever our schedules all align. So
Absolutely. Connor,
and you guys got and oh, how could we not mention this? You guys got NFL picks on the Men of Order blog as well every week, from Picking Winners, yours truly. So they're working with us right now, and so it makes sense to just go follow us too, because you're gonna get Picking Winners action from us as well.
Yeah, I think I unconsciously left that part out because I went 2-2 on the blog I wrote for you guys last week. Maybe.
Hey, it's all good. You can't win them all, especially when you're a Georgia fan.
Don't even. I'm not. You know what? We're going to the SEC championship. We're going to the SEC championship. Okay. That's okay. Okay. We won the SECs. We're good. Okay. Connor, do you have people before we leave?
And just to echo what you guys said, for both the channels, like, subscribe, comment, show us love. Let us know if you tailed the picks, how you do. Yeah, but hit us on the Twitters.
Yeah, we leave our Twitters in there for a reason. You can call us wrong all you want. We don't care. We'd be happy to hear what everybody else has to think. With all that being said, I hope everybody has a wonderful week, a wonderful weekend of responsible gambling. As always, we preach gambling responsibly always on this channel. It's very important. So I hope everybody has a happy and healthy weekend, and we out.